We begin this morning with breaking news from overnight. Authorities are investigating after a Wilbraham police officer was shot Saturday night. Welcome to Western Mass News at 9 a.m. on this Sunday morning. I'm Wesley Days. Wilbraham police arrived on scene, and when they arrived on scene, they were met with gunfire from a suspect at an old carriage drive home around 8:40 p.m. State police negotiators and members of the bomb squad all responded to that scene. Two people who were inside the home escaped onto the garage roof and were rescued by officials. We stayed in contact with Massachusetts State Police Representative David Percipio, who let us know the state of both the victim and suspect. Troopers entered the home and found the suspect suffering from gunshot injuries. He was placed into custody shortly after midnight and transported to a hospital. Wilbraham police say the officer hit was taken to an area hospital as of 2 a.m. Sunday with serious injuries, but is in stable condition.